What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. Got to talk about this LeSean McCoy, Eric Dickerson beef that's going on with the Saquon Barkley record. Now it was announced the other day that Saquon Barkley would not be playing the final regular season game for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, and the Eagles are in prime position. He has a chance to go do something special. You can't risk him having injury after he's been injured all those times with the New York Giants. You could do something really big this year. And so when I look at it from that perspective, I definitely understand, but he's so close to breaking Eric Dickerson's record. And Eric Dickerson spoke out, about that record. When they asked him about, the opportunity to do something that ain't been done since 1984, he says, I don't think he'll break it. This is what Dickerson told the LA Times. He said, I don't think he'll break it. But if he breaks it, he breaks it. Do I want him to break it? Absolutely not. I don't pull no punches on that. And so LeSean McCoy went on X. He quoted that. He said, if this ain't some hating old head ish, I can't imagine being 60 hating on young players. Grandpa, why you hating so hard? So we gonna get into the videos of what was said, and I'll be back, guys. Let's peek.
What was your message to Nick when he did ask you?
I mean, he asked me if I wanted to play, if I want to go for it. I said on Sunday, I probably didn't care too much for it. When I slept on it, it was like an opportunity to implant my name in football history. I may never get another opportunity like that again. So I'm down, but at the end of the day, I don't care for putting the team at risk. He's the head coach for a reason. He makes those decisions, and whatever decision he wanted to make, I let him know if you want me to play, I'm going to go out there and make sure I get it. And if we don't, I'm okay with that too.
This is a straight shout out to Saquon Barkley for getting 2,000 yards and potentially breaking Eric Dickerson's record for 2,100 yards. It's been held for about 40 to 50 years. As a running back, we want to encourage the next running backs. It's all about generation. And I think it went from Eric Dickerson, now it's going to go to Saquon Barkley. But Eric Dickerson, you don't feel the same way I feel. I know you can hear me, but can you see me? Okay. Now, you talked about how Saquon Barkley should get a star behind this record if he breaks it because it took him an extra game. So I did my homework because I love my running backs, my old heads and my young bulls. You the old head, Saquon's the young bull. And I seen that O.J. Simpson, the juice, who I love his game, he had the record in 14 games, but you broke it in 15 games. So you had an extra game to break it, like Saquon has an extra game to break it. My point is this, man. Uplift the young dudes because records are meant to be broken. You paved the way for guys like Saquon to break the record. It's going to be a young kid, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, it's going to break Saquon's record. As running backs, we got to stick together because they always trying to break us down. Eric Dickerson, you should do better, home. Stop the hating and more applauding. Saquon, get that record. Stop playing.
Boy, brother, know your football. First of all, it's Eric Dickerson. I love running backs. I'm a running back. My favorite player was O.J. Simpson. I've always said O.J. did it in 14 games. I did it in 15, one extra game to play. I would never hate on another running back. That's not me. So, like I said, know your history about running backs. Of course, if he broke the record, brother, I ain't going to lose no sleep over that. But am I cheering for somebody to break my record? No, I'm not. I don't think anybody does. If you have a record and you want somebody to break it, that's on you. I'm different. I'm old school. You know how hard it is to get a record? Very hard. I'm a Saquon Barkley fan. I never thought he'd reach his full potential in New York. I'm glad to see him in Philadelphia. I'm glad to see him get 2,000 yards. So don't say I'm hating on running backs. If you know your history, look up what I said about O.J. O.J. had it in 14. I did it in 15. That's why I played the running back position. So I'm just replying to your so-called diss of me.
Okay, so listen up, man. Good point by LeSean McCoy. O.J. broke it in the game less than Eric Dickerson. Which, in turn, if Saquon was to go for it, he would have broke it in an extra game. Point is, this is why a lot of times in all sports you have to kind of look at things by eras. There's so many other factors going into it that you can't just make a blanket statement about eras. Now, running backs, we see their fight So this is why I think LeSean McCoy is saying what he's saying. We see them fighting to get their paydays, right? To get what they're worth. And you look at the short life or shelf life of their careers, and a lot of times, many of them, the team has the success to show for what that player did at that time, but they don't necessarily have the proper compensation for what they put their bodies through. And so I think that's the angle LeSean McCoy is coming from. Now, Eric Dickerson, I think he's saying something that a lot of people don't say. They say the politically correct thing. So when Eric Dickerson says, I don't want him to break my record, I mean, I think as a competitor, you set it, to separate yourself. You only break records and set records, to make them very hard to be broken. Again, though, records are made to be broken. Um, but I appreciate the honesty. To be honest with you, so many people get up there, they clap when their record's broken. Like for me, I don't know if y'all remember this, and I'm gonna switch sports for a second, but you remember Kareem started having more and more to say, and I'm not a LeBron apologist at all. I respect what he's done for the game of basketball, as far as what he's been able to accomplish on the court. But as LeBron was approaching the record, Kareem was saying little things here and there, a little more about LeBron than he had done in the past. And it caused a little bit of a rift between them. Um, but at the ceremony, my point is at the ceremony, he was standing up clapping for him. Eric Dickerson, he just telling you like, nah, I don't like it. So you ain't gotta wonder like, where is this coming from? Um, and it's in a competitive way though. It's that thing that see. This is my point. That competitive thing in you that doesn't like to see the next person get it. That's what allowed you to do it in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Like those those things are embedded in you. So as a competitor, people could be mad at what he said or the way he said it, but that being in him is what caused him to get the record in the first place. Um, Now, but show Saquon love, man. I think a lot of times when you do these things, because I think the L.A. Times did it, and it was a written article. I don't know if they interviewed him with the microphone or whatever in front of him, but it was in the LA Times. And sometimes when you see it written on paper and somebody didn't say it out their mouth or there's no visual audio of it, you can interpret that however they've framed the narrative, as far as the interview. They can make it look any kind of way, clickbaitish or whatever, right? So, I don't know, man. I appreciate the honesty and I appreciate what LeSean McCoy said, too. I ain't got no problem with what either one of them said, to be honest with you. The Eric Dickerson, major, major, major legend. You know what I'm saying? In the game of football. OJ Simpson, say what you will about him. You talk about football, he is that dude. Saquon Barkley, fighting through all the injuries and all that, to be able to have that moment of validation, like, yeah, they trying to go for a Super Bowl, and that's big time. But to etch your name in stone with those guys and break that record, I would say that would be a hard one to pass over if I'm Saquon Barkley. You could see the dejection in his face. You could see he was visibly let down by not going for that record. At the same time, you just can't jeopardize your chances like that. You guys have a chance. If Jalen Hurts come back, you got a chance to try to win the whole thing. And so just keep your eyes on that, which I think he will. I think he's going to get back out there and he'll just be back playing football. But man, that would have been an amazing feat for his career when you look back on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.